Just experimenting a little bit more again with the live streaming. It's been a little while since I did a live stream. I do a lot of recorded videos. Last week I tried to do the Daf Yomi in a live stream, and it seemed that the audio recording was not as good as when I recorded directly to the phone and then uploaded subsequently. So people can let me know, is that an issue with this stream as well? A lot of people say that when you do live streams on YouTube, it increases your viewers, it increases the hours. I was very matzliach, very successful with the live stream that I did on Tu B'Shvat. But I'm not sure about these other live streams that I've tried, have not been as successful. And so I'm trying to get an idea, you know, how to approach the live streaming, whether it's a good idea or not to do the live streaming. I mean, I guess it can't hurt, but if the audio quality is very poor, well then theoretically it could hurt. So now that I'm over 1,000 subscribers, I want to thank all of my subscribers for sure. So I have that one big hurdle that I made it over of the 1,000 subscribers that are needed. Just want to make sure he's not. Is he? No, he's not. Alright. I'm just going to stay behind this guy for now. Kind of nervous because he had like 3 and 4 digits in his license plate, whether he's a cop, I don't know. There was an somewhat unmarked car, but it had the mirrors made it pretty obvious that was a cop, so I slowed down for him. So just trying to figure out, how to make it to work on time. Seems like on the other side there are a lot more cops, so we're gonna figure out, how to make it to school and work and everything on time. So this Shabbos I was in Brooklyn. I don't go away for Shabbos very much, and I spoke in 2 different shuls over Shabbos. So I'll share a little bit of what I spoke about on Shabbos. So Friday night, I spoke about Parshas Mishpatim, because we had Parshas Mishpatim and Parshas Shkolim. So in Mishpatim we have, it says ayin tachas ayin, an eye for an eye, right? So some years ago when I started working at Rockland Psych, where I'm the chaplain, one of the patients, I assume he was either Christian or he came from a Christian background and he was searching, I'm not sure, but he told me, he's like, I really love the Old Testament because it says an eye for an eye. So I said to him, I was like, well, according to the Jewish tradition, the rabbis say that means monetary compensation and not actually poking out someone else's eye. So he's like, oh, you Jews, everything's about money, isn't it? That's what the fellow said. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I don't know if you heard that. I said an eye for an eye, according to the rabbis, monetary compensation. I told one of my patients that was his comment, because I saw you caught the end of whatever I said. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look at the road. Let me know if the audio is okay, because it seems like the audio might be a little bit problematic. So then I went on to explain, why is it that an eye for an eye has to be monetary and not actually poking out someone's eye, and the reason is because it's an issue of justice. There's no justice that's accomplished. Now I don't have any viewers, but it's okay. because this will still go up. There's no justice that's accomplished by poking out someone's eye, because first of all, you don't get anything out of that. I explained, the mitzvah of, the crowd wasn't a crowd of Talmidei Chachamim. The first shul that I spoke at, Friday night, Shabbos morning, Shalosh Shudas, I spoke, was a Frumer shul, a Hamish shul. And so it was but they asked me, the third shul, the Shalosh, where I spoke by Shalosh Shudas, they asked me if I would speak in English, and I obliged. So, why is it that an eye for an eye has to be monetary and not poking out the eye? Before I explain the actual reason for that, I spoke a little bit about the mitzvah, the Isser of Leisikam and Leisitar. We have two in Leviticus, Parshas Kedoshim. It says you shouldn't take revenge and you shouldn't bear a grudge. So I explained how the rabbis frame that mitzvah is as follows. If your neighbor asks, could I borrow your shovel? And if you ask your neighbor, could I borrow your shovel? And he says no. And then the next day he asked if he could borrow your hammer. And he said, no, you didn't let me borrow the shovel. I'm not going to let you borrow the hammer. You're not allowed to do that. That's taking revenge. It's a biblical violation, according to Leviticus, how the rabbis learn Leviticus. The next prohibition is you shouldn't bear a grudge. So, what does that mean, not bearing a grudge? So, the answer is, not bearing a grudge means that you shouldn't, that the same scenario, you ask your neighbor, could I borrow your shovel? And then he says no, and the next day he says, could I borrow a hammer? And you say, of course, because I'm not like you. That's bearing a grudge, remembering that he didn't lend the shovel. Instead, you have to just be nice, and if you have a good reason not to lend, you have a good reason not to lend. But if you don't, you lend it, and you don't even bring up the fact that he didn't lend you yesterday. And of course you don't, and it's not taking revenge if you have a good reason. But then I explained an eye for an eye. If you have one person, it's a diamond cutter, and his eyes are extremely, and not having an eye is going to make it impossible for him to do this highly skilled work where he's making a lot of money, which is highly skilled with his eyes. The next fellow, the one who put out the eye, meaning the criminal who put out the eye of the diamond cutter, let's say he was a musician. The musician, his eyes are valuable, but his ears are more valuable. He could read the music with one eye. He doesn't need the 3D vision to ascertain anything. And so the diamond cutter wouldn't be able to focus properly with one eye. The musician could do his work, and he's not losing any money. So if you take out the musician's eye, it would not be equal to the monetary loss that the diamond cutter is losing by losing the eye. And so therefore it has to be monetary compensation in order to be fair. Now I'm in Kiryas Yoelish, Zoluntina Kaplitch, in the Heilige Shtetl. Alles covered for the Shtetl. And so therefore, in order for it to be proper justice, he has to he has to pay money and not just put out someone's eye. That's not justice. There's nothing accomplished with that. This person, he lost some of his parnasa because he lost the eye. So therefore, he he has a monetary loss, and that has to be recompensated. However, it's equal. It's an eye for an eye, and not more. Meaning, with theft or whatever, we could say he has to pay back double, or when it's theft of an animal, it could be 4 or 5 times the kanas. But when it's an eye for an eye, it's just equal. Meaning, whatever the loss is from the eye, the monetary loss that the person has losing his eye, or whatever other limb, or whatever other monetary loss he has in any event, it's not just an eye for an eye. It's just an example. Any monetary loss he has to pay back. If someone damages someone else, he has an obligation to repay it. If if it's brought to court, and it's not like people are just poking out other people's eyes. It has to be brought to a court of law, and this is how the court of law has to adjudicate the court case. It's not a Hefgewalt. That's one aspect. You hear the many people who speak out against the rabbinical traditions. The fact of the matter is, it's just opposite. The rabbinical traditions are what make the Bible a living and breathing and livable document. Because if you just read the Bible without understanding what it means, it would be people be poking each other's eyes out, cutting off hands and doing crazy stuff like that. And we don't want that. What happened here? All right, I gotta sign your papers, or?
No.
All right, so go. All right. I'll pick you up from school. I'll pick you up here. You don't have to get the bus.
But I'm not.
Oh, you're not going home tonight. All right, you have all your stuff?
Yes.
All right, I love you.
I should take the bus tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll talk about it. Probably.
Mommy said I should take the bus.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow, because I don't work tomorrow. All right, because I don't work tomorrow. I love you. Have fun. So, I think at this point, nobody's watching. I want to listen to Glenn Beck. But it's not that clear, Glenn Beck. All right, let me see if I can get around this bus. So I'll have to listen to it on iHeartRadio, and that I can't do while I'm making a live stream. If I was just listening to the radio, it would be better. So so in any event, that's basically what I said Friday night. I told the joke Rabbi Fishbane always tells about the 2 cigarettes. How's that joke go? I saw a person who's smoking 2 cigarettes. I said, Mark, it's not enough to smoke 1, you need 2. He said, no. I have a buddy, Mike, he's in jail. I'm smoking 1 for him because he can't smoke there. So then sometime later I see he's smoking just 1 cigarette. I said, did Mike get out of jail? He said, no, I quit smoking. So that's a good joke. All right, this has gone on for about 15 minutes. We only got few seconds of watch time. So I guess this live stream was not successful in fulfilling its purpose, and we're about to the place where we're going to lose reception. Not that close, but not that far. So I want to listen to Glenn Beck, see what he has to say. Why is this a blinking light? This is usually a stoplight, isn't it? That's interesting. Well, thank you for watching. If you're watching this later, or maybe you're watching this now and there's something not going on, let me know how the audio sounds. And God bless. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all the best. Take care.